Yes, sir. So, night judge, night judge heights. You're a judge, and just gonna have a reason. But first, one talk about the military route, the one that the English them did watch over in case the Spanish them did want to take back Jamaica, which is from Bull Bay to Linda's Gap. And sir, you have an interesting take on how you think Paul Bogle might maneuver the space during his march to the governor. Was that?
Well, his journey to Spanish Town to talk to Governor Erie. But when he went there, they come and turn him out, turn him away.
Turn him away. They send him back as in don't listen to him at all.
Yeah, turn him.
Okay.
Disrespect him and send him back to
And what year was this?
see, that's about 1864.
So this
Remember,
is
the rebellion was 65.
so this is after slavery finished?
Yeah, man, slave was,
Okay.
these, Paul Bogle was a member, I think he was born a slave, you know. And after slavery was abolished, the plantocracy, the owner of the farm,
What was that? Yeah. The coffee and sugar
turned
plantation.
the slaves them loose. So they become peasant farmers. Anyway, they could get to scrape a little piece of land and grow like potato or cocoa or banana or whatever they could eke out of the land.
Yeah.
But it was very hard. They couldn't buy things really because they had no money. The farmers, the white farmers would offer them nothing for the labor.
So barter was in play or just heavy dependence
It
on
was-
English currency?
The bartering was heavily dependent on the peasants themselves.
Okay.
And barter among themselves.
I make notes as in who owe you on anything there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And them through pardon.
Yeah.
So they develop a way of exchanging goods and services.
Was it the white man way to extract money out of them or what?
Well, they had to pay taxes
Okay.
and the fines, the little thing that you did against the law. Like take for instance, indecent language. You couldn't curse bad word if you were taken to the court.
How many days jail?
10 days, more or less 10 days.
Okay.
Take a thing you couldn't do. Or like you couldn't go by the river and wash. Women would be fined for polluting. The stream is protected. They couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So it was really hard for them, very hard.
And the church was there to brace that pain.
No, the church wasn't there. The church didn't understand what was going on at all. About Paul Bogle was a Baptist deacon. William Gordon was also a member of the Baptist church.
Yeah.
But they become very disillusioned and very upset about all the way they were treated.
Yeah.
At that time, they were just being exposed to the Bible
Yeah.
and the teaching of love and the teaching of God's commandment.
Who, Paul Bogle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they couldn't understand why these guys from England, being able to read us, weren't really coming out and saying what was right from wrong.
Okay. So it's
They
like
become
access to
very-
AI. It's like access to artificial intelligence. Access to the ruling script of the day. Because you can read.
The white men who could read, two things they didn't disseminate the knowledge that they knew from the Bible. And equally, and more importantly, they didn't practice what they taught from the Bible. You know,
So when reading going on at the church, information about breakdown and pass on or what?
All of the deacons them would know. But some of the churches, especially the churches from the United States, really, come from the South. They came here like the missionaries and the disciples of Christ. They came
Who go
here.
to those church?
Huh?
Who go to those church?
Yeah,
Who go which church? Like which section of the population go to which gravitate to which church?
the established church were like the Anglican, to a certain extent the Methodist, Presbyterian, and some other, we refer to as the established church. They come from England.
Yeah.
The other churches now are those who came out of the missionary movement.
The USA.
USA. They
Okay.
came here to Christianize.
Oh, so
the
USA
experience.
was progressive from them time there.
I don't
As
think,
in our interpretation.
well, they set up a lot of churches.
Yeah.
And they themselves were not tolerant of the Poco or the revivalists neither.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody fight them for their own little piece of the pie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But the white from South, who most of them had slaves too.
At Louisiana, Memphis.
Yeah, they came here. And some of them came here. I don't think they had any illusion about.
So them dress different. Them.
Them coming and them, well, you know, they start to wear them jacket and tie and.
Okay. Well, I don't want to wear coat.
No man, they all came from England. Remember
Robe.
the people who settled in America from England. They call them the Quakers. They were more or less dressed. Cause they have more. Some of them followed the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
So they had their robe and their long gowns and priestly collars and everything.
Mm-hmm.
While the Poco wear dresses that were frowned upon by the whites.
Bandana.
No man,
Gabardine,
pretty,
Yeah.
pretty
Dashiki.
gown. No wrap down here, then wrap. You had wrap. They were known as loosely referred to by the other natives them as wrap head.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the washfoot. Some of the church I had to go to. Still practice up to today. Like the Adventists. The Adventists came out of
Seven
it.
Adventists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They practice deal with washing the feet of the brothers and sisters. So they were loose and known.
That practice today?
Yeah man.
Yeah.
As the Washwood Church.
Yeah.
Well, some strange custom which have died out today.
Yeah.
But I believe it. If you listen to some early in the mornings, you listen to some radio program
Yeah.
with some local bishop and doctors and all things. They seem to have taken up from the old time Poco and revivalists, ball out and so
Yeah.
they can heal people.
Yeah.
You can give water to drink.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to recently heard a minister.
So, you're growing up stage, sorry sir, which church you think had a youthful interpretation of connection to God? Which church you thought had a connection to God?
Well,
Which church you say, wow, I would go to that church, but attend one day, even if it's outside.
No, I started out with the Adventists. So it was intriguing to me because they preached strictly from the Ten Commandments. And they were biased toward the Ten Commandments. And they keep it worship on a Saturday. And it sets aside one day strictly for worship. The 7th day of the week. So, and then the other fascination with the Adventists is that they were the first, or among the first churches in Jamaica who taught the way to Christianity was through religion, or religious education.
What I understand.
Right. They had a program, for instance, they had a program on the radio station, like RJR and Radio Fusion and everything, called Back to the Bible Broadcast. Now these are programs you could sign up for. And you take exam, you do...
Sign up all.
You just write...
Correspondence?
Yeah, correspondence course.
Letter and stamp.
Yeah, write to them and they want to do the course. And then give you a complete course on Adventism. And they send you questions, you answer the questions and send back the response to them. And they'll mark it and send back the paper to you. Then they came on.
Big excitement when them letter they come back from foreign.
Everybody gone to the post office.
Yeah.
And when the postman comes.
What's some of them other correspondence usually have? Except for Bible school.
You mean like Adventist?
Yeah, what other education was open to people through correspondence?
You had Leonard College and Bennett's College from England. You could do courses from those colleges, you could write to Bennett and Leonard in London. And they send you lessons every week, every 2 weeks. You do the lessons and send it back to them.
What them curriculum about?
The curriculum, they send you the curriculum from England.
Yeah, but what the topic then? What the
Everything,
courses?
English, maths, English, any subject that you want.
Them colleges still up there now?
Agriculture. I don't know, Bennett's College and whatever I told the other one name.
Edwards or?
Leonard.
Yeah.
Leonard. But we're based in London, we're very popular. And those colleges now, they were strictly by correspondence.
So if they must service the whole British, West India.
Yes, they serve the whole British Commonwealth.
British Commonwealth, that's the word. So all the now the money and then still are going to you about them it.
I have to pay them.
Yeah, when they hear about them, what them money, why not scamming them the other?
No man. You're saying, alright, for instance now, the subject they offered, I think in the third year course, were not different from the local exam that you took here.
Okay.
The question might have been different.
Yeah.
But they were along the same line. You have colleges, you have universities or colleges from the United States. You have a few from the South. Send a lesson to, I think one was Bennett's College. I have Leonard from England. Whatever educational program, and you could take exam from them, and some people qualify themselves over them. Qualify themselves. I think there was one from Canada too. Canada, United States, England. There was another one from there. But all over the world.
Yeah.
And them send you, when you take exam and results come out. Results will come out in a paper,
Gazette.
a gazette, come out in a
Gleaner.
magazine like.
Okay.
And you know who passed the subject down in Africa.
Yeah. Wow.
Down in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Down in Australia.
Yeah. Oh, so that's where the common chance get it stem from.
That's what, yeah.
Cause them printing on them usually printing on the gleaner.
Yeah, there's a print and tell you who passed what.
Okay.
Well, you know, people want to look for those papers and say, where you could find them.
So, alright, your mom got get to National Stadium. When that built?
National Stadium built about the time of independence, 1962.
Okay. And then the handing over ceremony occurred in there.
Yeah, the Queen's sister, Princess Margaret,
Yeah.
declared home.
Okay. Oh, you come down here for the clear to open and the later handover ceremony.
I think it was home on the night of independence, you know. 6th of August,
Yeah.
1962.
Okay.
We had two big events there. The middleweight boxing championship between Jamaica, a guy named Bonnie Grant,
Yeah.
and one from England named Dave Chandley.
Yeah.
And Bonnie Grant beat him for the title.
In Jamaica? Wow. For the title? Heavyweight or middleweight?
Middleweight title.
Wow.
Commonwealth middleweight champion.
Okay, yeah. Wow. So what was the communication between India and Jamaica?
Cricket, man.
Okay.
Cricket was the greatest thing between India.
Yeah. So Indians out here usually have strong ties to India at that time?
Yeah. But when they came here, they came here as indentured servants.
So there was always a constant trickling of Chinese and Indian people to Jamaica?
More Indian came than Chinese.
Okay.
I'll tell you something now, when you go out into a place like Clarendon, St. Catherine, a pure Indian used to live at them places. St. Elizabeth. The Chinese used to be more around Bar Street, downtown, the shopkeepers.
Yeah.
You had two was at Papine.
Yeah.
One with Tasties now, there was a Chinese shop there.
Yeah.
And down at where the barber was,
Yeah.
there was a Chinese shop, I think they was Fang. And he used to sell steamed cabbage and sliced bread.
Yeah.
But the Indians them used to live a lot too. The whole Mona Command was occupied by Indians.
Never know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll tell you something now. They had to the commercial life of place like Dallas and Constitution. You know. And the people up here who raise cows
Yeah.
would milk the cow
Yeah.
and take the milk to Papine and sell to the Indians them.
Okay.
And the Indians them used to walk from Papine around town and sell the milk.
Okay.
I remember there was a tall Indian woman. She used to walk from Papine straight down Hope Road, straight down into Almontown and ball out milk. And people buy out of our quart pan and our pine pan and sell milk. But the Indian played, and you know what they used to do to the grow callaloo? They were the pioneers of callaloo growing in Jamaica. Callaloo, pak choi. But Chinese was involved in more or less shopkeeper and gambling.
Yeah.
They had a game called Pick Up Yo.
Yeah.
Pick Up Yo and Drop On.
Yeah.
Pick Up or Drop On. There was another one too.
So, alright. In terms of infrastructure, like the roads them, like two roads we notice are kind of peculiar. Like you can walk from Mylan on a Constitution Hill and reach Tavern before if I car drive. You
You
can
go down
walk
the
from
hill.
Queen Hill and go Flamstead before a car can make it.
Mm.
Those roads were supposed to connect?
They weren't roads as such, you know. They were, we call,
Trails.
they call them, they developed the name to Porocal Road. They were run by the, when they opened up the Parish Council,
Mm-hmm.
they were Parish Council Road. But before that, there were tracks. I think it was the white plantocrats who had those roads, they cut them and developed them.
Mm-hmm.
People from Flamstead, people who used to go to the hotel at Flamstead, used to walk from Miller's Gap through Queensville to Flamstead.
Mm-hmm.
And people used to walk from Good Hope down to Grass Pass.
Yeah.
And one of the big commercial activity, especially the women, they call them higglers. They used to go to Good Hope, Flamstead, Brazos Valley, Mount Henry, and buy foodstuff, ground provision,
Yeah.
like yam and coke and banana and carrot and clean it up, scallion, walk back down to Miller's Gap and carry to town to sell.
Yeah. In terms of residential area, I notice there's a settlement or gathering or semi-community in every nook and cranny, except the Dallas Mountain itself. Like between Linda's Gap to Greenville, it's just empty.
Right. You're talking about Rippling Wood.
Yeah, the mountain. Yeah,
Rippling Wood was owned by some people named Drew.
Jew.
Yeah, Drew, some white.
Okay.
Drew. I don't know, D-R-E-W, but they are Jewish people.
Yeah.
There was a hotel there, there was a great house there, and I don't know it. I only see the foundation right.
Okay.
Rippling Wood.
Yeah.
No. What was good for Rippling Wood now? It was a specialized area
Yeah.
for raising goats, cows, and planting gungo peas, sweet potato, and cassava.
Hold on. Why? Because everybody was aware that the Jew family owned that land, and they're not going to touch it. Or?
They lease it out to people.
Oh, okay.
They lease it out to people.
So there were Americans who have.
No, they were Jamaicans,
Oh, okay.
Jewish people.
Oh.
But the land where you see them build the restaurant they're from. And like, the whole of that land comes straight down to Dallas.
Okay.
Was owned by the Jew them. And they used to, you see people who rent those land.
Hold on, guys. Comment in the comments if you know anybody, any Jamaican family by the name of Drew, and see if we can start a conversation and get the connection, guys. Yeah, sorry, sir. Continue.
Oh, you know, we used to work with them for years. My uncle, Townsend, McNair,
Yeah.
worked with them. They were cutting the roads going up there.
Yeah.
And I think they abandoned it for something. I don't know what reason why they abandoned it.
The one from which side? Got two roads. We know
The road where the lion guy live there now.
Yeah.
When you come up Livermore.
Yeah.
Then
Them
right.
turn it into a hunters club now.
Eh?
Yeah, bird hunting club.
Yeah, you go up that hill there.
Yeah.
And they were cutting a road going up there.
And on the other side, the same thing. there's a road.
Another thing up there is really, I think one of the hindrances that's here now. That there's no water.
Okay.
Water was a scarcity.
So water they run going to John down by Butcher Pass.
You hear that?
A man named John. Water they run go down there, so.
John Brown.
And if I Brown, above Boutica, on Spring was always there one time.
Yeah man, it was owned by John Mopata.
Oh, yeah.
That spring was always there from America, boy.
Yeah, but what? So water was there? When the
I
water
think the
was
water
full.
is still up there now.
So, I mean, people live a good hope. Like, nobody never take no interest in there something.
But I think what happened down there now, John bought the place from the Woodward them.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the white plantocrats never particularly want too much white people coming near to them, black people living near to them.
Okay.
So if you find from Parish Mango, Parish they go straight down to Kenema Father. That's where black people used to live.
Okay.
If you look pan up over by Cane Peace, black people never live over there.
Okay.
Resin Hill and all them places.
Yeah.
Rip Road,
Yeah.
all the lights. Black people all live there. And the primary thing I believe was the water supply, not the water.
Oh. Cane River.
Okay, yeah, I know you have Body Spring, you have Cane River, you have Body Spring,
Yeah.
you have Friendship Brook,
Friendship. Oh, no, Friendship.
you have Lucky Valley River.
Oh, that's from Blacksburg come down.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's Lucky Valley.
Yeah.
And that spring come down from Good Hope to come around that side here.
So our road from Friendship go up in a Good Hope.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Me sometimes Friendship do like carry the swing and everything.
And the swing.
Yeah.
A church was around there now, and where the school was. I taught around here. I taught at
and
the
the
school.
school go down,
The school, they moved the school and put it across
Drummond Hill.
Hill.
Okay.
That's a lovely little school, very neat.
So that community they feed out.
The principal used to live in the school.
Yeah.
And the spring around there was a lovely little spring.
Oh. Yeah, cause I see community and like a plan what now there's a whole heap of grave over there in some part. And
That's another thing. The slave were put back to live in certain places. And where they live, that's where they bury the dead.
yeah.
That's right. So you never let a grave scattered all over the place. Yeah, you have like Plan Walk could have a family was living over there. The Shaw family them
Okay.
was living over there. It's a garden, it's a place over there too.
Yeah.
You have the Deacon them. They have we Herald cultivating plant them across the riverside there.
Yeah.
A cemetery over there too.
Okay, yeah.
I think they call it over there Nigger House.
Okay.
That's where they bury the nigger them.
That's the name they use.
Eh?
That's the name of the place.
Yeah, Nigger House.
Okay.
And then call down where with a knee live now, Bakra House.
Oh, that's from it's a owners go up on the hilltop.
Yeah, Bakra House.
Okay. So like the next thing we hear about like prevalent in that area, where man I say when there was a youth, usually have rain like Portland.
Rainy weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, if you listen to the radio nowadays, every day they predict the weather. They change the weather now. That was last year, July was the hottest. One day last year, July was the hottest day in the history of the world.
Yeah.
I think this week here, one of them days was the hottest day we ever experienced.
Yeah.
That's right. But because there was this proliferation of trees, especially when the Negroes start to plant mango tree pear tree, breadfruit tree, lumber tree and everything. That reforestation of the place caused the rain to fall a lot. First time you couldn't go, when it's a rainy weather, you have to keep a yard.
Yeah.
Because people couldn't go out.
Yeah.
You couldn't, if you live in Dallas now, you couldn't go Papine.
Yeah.
So you have to cross Hope River.
Yeah.
And you have to cross the Big River over here, so.
Mm.
And if you pass the Big River, you have to pass. I miss Cutie lived there again.
Duck Pond.
Duck Pond.
Yeah.
Pure river, pure, not even river really, gullies, but when they come down, they're in spit for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. That I noticed the spit last a long like one
No,
time.
like for first time for weeks, man, you have to see the river.
Yeah.
You have to look on it, everybody else, you look on the river. Can't cross it.
Yeah. So you're the mismatch section, one of the mismatch section of the East Remel Safari. Here so was a plantation, and it was a plantation, but yet still it full up a guango tree. I understand that.
Guango is a special wood, you know, special tree. But although it's a special tree, I don't know it came here. But guango was good for cows.
Yeah, but I say, when I think about the plant cane and coffee under the guango.
No, but it grew. And people were glad for it because when, alright, for instance, you have rainy season, when the rain fall heavy, and you have your cow them to feed, you just go in on the guango walk.
Yeah, but may I say, where were the cane? Where was the cane? And where was the
Most
coffee?
of the, more or less, most of the cane were over. You have cane peas. You have
Okay, so cane peas was the cane farm.
yeah.
Okay. And the coffee was in Flamstead all the while.
Cane don't grow. Cane don't grow much on level. She said wooded land. Cane like open space.
So cane peas was the plantation, was the
Cane
cane
people are
plantation?
plantation.
Okay.
And that's all the cane is over there. Coffee
Yeah.
and pimento.
Yeah. So over there, so was the designated farm area from all them rich soil that were come down from the mountain, from Good Hope
You
and
mean
Bose
cane
Hill.
peas?
Yeah.
It was a prize position of the white people.
Yeah.
grow
Because
like
all
a-
of the settlement go right there, so you know.
Yeah. The cows feed over there, goat feed over there, birds. Most of the people that live off Cape Peace. That was the main reason when we found out that the Woodwards were going back to England. We approached the government to lend us money to buy the place.
Okay.
So it was the government who lent us the money to buy cane peas.
Yeah. So hold on, what not that? There's another squared to the success story of the cane peas buying is that the community and the paper I say for every children born in Dallas this day or this night.
Tonight. That was the
Is
whole
a
concept.
plantation turn over to the community.
No, the problem about it now,
So that make it okay.
I told somebody, I told the agricultural guy them some more.
Yeah.
I was telling them that they must go and search for the title
Yeah.
and resurrect cane peas
Yeah.
and turn it into a farm.
Yeah.
What and it was designated for.
So, in a sense, with DNA plug in for plant in a cane piece, that's
The
the wild out there.
DNA the property, the government lent us $370,000.
Yeah.
And we bought the land.
Yeah.
And we bought a van.
Yeah.
And we started running. We had a manager over there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's his name. But there yesterday, man.
So this is before watershed or after watershed?
No man, before after what happened now? Watershed came by
Yeah.
when they found out that the lands were washing away, erosion, massive erosion.
Yeah.
So the whole Dallas Constitution Hill, Queens Hill,
Yeah.
they set up watershed.
Yeah.
It was a means of setting up check dams,
Yeah.
build walls across the gullies and
Yeah.
stop the land from
Because the same thing what you said is the water they come down in spade for weeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the trees flourish more because the water didn't wash away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, what happened is the watershed project.
So all the mountain they probably lay low right now.
It'll be a long time.
Yeah.
But the people used to work and get money to go in and build the walls. And
So which one come first? Shed or cane piece?
Cane Piece came after.
Okay.
Cane Piece was hard.
No man, cane piece the cooperative.
The cooperative came through while the watershed was going on.
Yeah.
You know the chief bandier
Yeah.
as the chief mason.
Yeah.
I used to get cement,
Yeah.
and sand. We wanted to carry sand and cement.
Yeah.
And stone. Alan,
Okay.
Jennifer husband. It must only him alive now. I think Bassa took Bassa, Alan,
Yeah.
who else? Bassa.
So Walker?
Could have been united, But there's a man named Mr. Willis. Mr. Willis was the head man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not cut it, sir. Mr. Shaw said I come check on the grounds of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, continue, Mr. Who?
Brucey.
Yeah.
You have, we have
Bassa.
Bassa, Alan. Mr. Willis was the head one.
All them on the work on the check down.
All the man work on the check down.
Okay. No,
Most of the women too.
I'm going to tell you something about them check down there. As a person who walk up and down and walk everywhere, them down there, they're still in a...
Some is there, but most of them, I'll tell you what happened to most of them. When people start to build pit toilets
Okay.
and build up good houses, then pull them down and take away the stone. That's what caused the problem. It caused a big problem.
Yeah.
With thousands of dollars. And I tell you a good part of that whole story. You want to search it.
Yeah.
The government used to provide food.
Yeah.
You see down at my place, at the shed there.
Yeah.
That's where they used to distribute the food from.
Yeah.
Flour, rice, sugar.
Yeah.
Women used to go down there like Friday and collect them things because they didn't want nobody to work. Nobody couldn't get no work to do work on it. They didn't have time to work on the field because they work on the check dams.
Yeah.
Because the whole project was to reforest Jamaica. I'm going to tell you who used to work on it. I know Bassa, Tuba, Colban.
Yeah. All them on the transition. Except for Coleman, yeah.
Miss Cutie and her sister. Alan, I know Alan was the chief mason.
Wow.
Mr. Willis, he was the head mason.
That's Alan. Yeah.
Struggles, Rugo. Most of the people up here used to work on check dams. They look stone, look mall.
So you said the investment going into that get discharged through people are built stone house come out of the
It was a special project where the government secured those money from the British government and gave them to Jamaica to watershed protection and call it.
Yeah. See the soil.
To save the soil and the topsoil, especially the topsoil. And stop the massive erosion. But most people in here are a certain age now, what you see now, they don't work on that project. was good. And my uncle Big Mac used to work there. And then Bonnie used to work at it. Bonnie used to work at it. We got a old man out there.
Also Archie.
Archie, yeah man, Archie was I think another thing about it, most of the men who ended up as being carpenters and masons start out with that project.
Okay. As apprentice.
An apprentice.
Okay.
The scheme was supervised by people from town.
Yeah.
I remember one of the guys who supervised it was living out in Yalas.
Yeah.
Back then. So for the whole of that period, it lasted for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Nobody never run on ground or anything.
Yeah.
They just live off the watershed project.
Oh.
And the structure is still there.
Huh?
The structure is still there, the watershed.
Yeah.
That's what they call them, the watershed.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to remember who else. Who else was it? But a whole heap of them people here
Yeah.
was involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday that time, they go down to the watershed go collect the money.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from collecting the money, the government used to send in truckloads of flour and rice and sugar.
So was this running simultaneously with the Coptic?
No man, Capital was after that.
No, so it was a different thing, but was it running at the same time?
No, the Capital was after that.
Okay.
The Capital never had a project in Dallas really. The Capital had a project in St. Thomas.
Yeah.
And the Capital had the headquarters down in Azalite.
Yeah. Which event you ever notice? I need this like as another data gap. Which event you ever notice bringing the most tourists in this region? Which event ever bringing the most tourists in here?
Well, I couldn't really say.
As in foreign tourists?
Foreign tourists. I would say Flamstead.
Oh.
Flamstead Hotel.
Okay, yeah.
Where my grandaunt used to work on that project you can regard as the first all-inclusive hotel. You check into the hotel, food is provided, accommodation is there. So that one regarded as the first all-inclusive hotel.
Sir, I'll stop it there, so. I'm going to take it there, so. Guys, Judgeites, a good quarter, 50 minutes turn hour. Let's stop it there, so, guys. Peace out.
Plastic pots.
Yeah.
The trees, them.
Yeah.
It's all those trees that grow up the years, The lumber trees, them. They came in pots, and they employ people to take them up on the hills.
Okay.
And men to plant them up there.
Okay. So the jewel was from a different project?
Yeah, that was more or less for forest plants.
Okay.
So forest plant was...
You said around here was mostly common mango, the thick skin one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the growing of pine tree.
Yeah.
Cedar.
Yeah.
Well, it started up in Flamstead. And there was a man in charge of it. He used to live up in Guava Ridge, named Buchanan. He was in charge of the whole of this area. Buchanan. Call him Mr. Buck. Very interesting program.
Yeah.
They grow trees from Constitution Hill across to Flamstead, Good Hope, Taylor Hill, name it. And there was a big project run by Lucky Valley. My Uncle Mark was in charge of that one. I'm not sure I remember who it was. I remember Hallan can tell you. Hallan and Willis were the two top masons them. All right, go on to bed now, man.
Okay, sir.